Today, we're going to be discussing some of the most frequently asked questions organizations have when they are considering setting up within one of the 21 member economies of the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. These are some of the topics that we will cover in this presentation. The Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, is the premier organization in the Asia Pacific region for facilitating trade and investment and promoting economic cooperation and growth. APEC was established in 1989 to further enhance economic growth and prosperity for the region and to strengthen the Asia-Pacific community. The APEC members account for 38% of the world's population and 60% of the world's total GDP and 47% of the world's trade. APEC cooperates as an economic bloc for the development of the Asian continent. It has also extended its operations and membership to other countries of different regions due to economic benefits. China trades with Chile on agricultural produce, while the USA and China trade largely on technological transfer. Despite countries being mentioned belonging to different political blocs, for example, USA belongs to USMCA, they also share different economic ideologies. Despite some of the countries involved in APEC having different political beliefs, they've been able to overcome this and work for the economic benefit of APEC. Since its creation, APEC has worked to reduce tariffs and other trade barriers across the Asia-Pacific region. APEC represented a logical response to changes in international relations during the 70s and 80s. The 1980s saw a massive surge in regionalism with the creation of NAFTA, Mercosur, and other trading blocs. APEC's issue scope now includes trade and investment, liberalization, the environment, social issues, and women's issues. The research we will discuss was carried out using a mixed methods approach. The theoretical models of analysis used were PASTEL and SWOT analysis. There are many different types of research available. Quantitative research deals with numeric data, and qualitative research deals with non-numeric data. Concurrent mixed methods involves separate use of quantitative and qualitative methods within a single phase of data collection and analysis. There are many strengths and weaknesses of what involved with quantitative analysis. These include the researcher is independent from those being researched, the results can be easily analyzed, and quantitative analysis is fast, focused, and scientific, as well as being relatable. There are some weaknesses involved with quantitative analysis, including that it can be difficult to set a research model, there can be varying sample sizes, and the results can be time-specific. Qualitative analysis also has some strengths, including the studies can provide you with details about human behavior, emotion, and personality characteristics. The data collection is easy and cost efficient, but there are also some weaknesses, including difficult analysis due to the amount of variables, and the results can be affected by bias. There's also lack of statistical validation. That's why we decided to choose mixed methods approach. Mixed methods research recognizes the importance of traditional quantitative and qualitative research, but also offers a powerful third choice that often will provide the most informative, complete, balanced, and useful research. Combining quantitative and qualitative approaches can balance out the limitations of each method, resulting in more credible results. There are some weaknesses involved with mixed methods approach, including that it can be more complex to carry out, and it requires more expertise, and it can be more expensive and take more time. The data and trend analysis of the APEC region would not have been possible without using quantitative research methods, and our research would not have been complete without carrying out qualitative analysis. Therefore, a mixed methods approach was the most suitable for our research.
There are many of frameworks that we can work on, but few of them that mentioned here is 12C, SWOT, PISTL, and Porter 5 forces. Benefits of SWOT and PISTL methods are the PISTL factors were taken into account for evaluation. So, question is, what framework did we choose and why? The benefits of SWOT and PISTL methods are the PISTL factors were taken into account for evaluation of market entry in APEC. The factors of PISTL are useful in figuring out whether new services developing by APEC were valid and how to describe current services. The PISTL analysis help in developing a deeper understanding of factors which directly or indirectly affect the businesses. PISTL analysis is a method that is used to obtain micro picture of a sector environment. This framework enables the company to create impression of the element which may cause implication to new business or sector. In analysis of APEC, PISTL is used over the other tools because it allow one to point out the business or individual opportunities and also provide an advance notification of any possible threat to business. It is helpful because it guides the direction of shifts in the business culture, adapt to changes in the work being performed by the organization through through along with benefits of Vestal. Some drawbacks can negatively impact the organization's work. It may be sometimes include our simplification of data utilized for decision. The information may be passed on assumption that may later prove be false. The SWOT analysis is the strategic planning and management technique that is used to assess an organization's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that are associated with the business competition or planning a project. These are crucial success characteristics that offer businesses edge over competitors. SWOT analysis is generally used at beginning of planning process. The use of SWOT method has helpful in knowing the strength of market, which also makes it easier for companies to maximize their competitive advantages. To compare with USMCA and APEC, the SWOT analysis, it is helpful method for decision making because it allows organization to disclose the opportunities for their success. The threats are also highlighted before they damage the reputation of organization. However, the main limitation of SWOT analysis are that it does not prioritize issues, which makes it difficult for managers to focus on specific factor which impacts on decision making. Further, it also produces too much information, which creates confusion among managers. Using these methods may not involve all the relevant aspects and can easily be misunderstood. This framework only adopts the factor at a particular point in time and does not enable how the factor could change it. Other tools available for market analysis include Porter's 5 forces and 12C framework. However, we felt that SWOT and Pestle would yield more in-depth results. Porter 5 forces and 12C framework do not consider the risks for competitors. It is a tool that fails to advise the firms about potential prospects in the future. The model predicts the perfect market competition and ignores the fact that certain markets are heavily controlled and leading imbalance and forces in action for EPIC. Both methods could have been suitable as the initial point for in-depth investigation of EPIC, but they could not provide a deep analysis. These frameworks also do not help in activities that are associated with research and development. Porter 5 forces and 12C model do provide useful information regarding influence of particular industry. This is because they highlight the strength and threats caused by new entries in the marketplace, which enable the organizations to make strategies accordingly. They are useful in taking action against the threats while developing the strengths of the organization.
The best tool analysis of APEC we elaborate here will be the political, economic, society, technology, environmental, and law. Yeah, for the political, we'll be talking about how tightening political alliance between member states. There's a good relationship between them, and also we also talked about extended political ties with member states outside the Southeast Asian bloc. There's also how it has extended its relationship not just within Asia but also to America and other countries. And the economic ties is regional growth, GDP increase from USD, United States dollar, which is 19 trillion in 1989, to USD 46.9 trillion in 2018. Resident of the Asia Pacific saw their per capita income rise by 74%. For the society, trade alliance promotes job creation, improve living conditions, and financial independence for locals within the corporation. And technological, stricter intellectual property rules, policies to protect and enable less developed economies to adapt to industries of the future. Environmental APEC recognizes that growth and prosperity need to be attained through environmental sustainable approaches, establish environmental goals, member states are strong advocates of clean and environmental global climate change, and the law rules of origin oil and gas security indexation, APEC Putrajaya Vision 2040. And for the APEC SWOT analysis that we used, it could be seen as a cross-regional operation. APEC members are the largest economies in their region, works for a sustainable and inclusive Asia, ability to overcome political matters to work for economic success. And the weakness is solely an economic entity. Opportunities, member states enjoy free cross-national territories, trade, training capacity building and technological transfer. APEC membership card economic collaboration, and the threats are mostly internal threats.
So the question is, why would an organization want to set up a business in APEC and not within any other trading bloc? For this, we analyze USMCA. USMCA is an association between the United States of America, Mexico, and Canada. So the reason why these countries really benefit from each other is, first of all, the geographic presence in different regions. USMCA was established in the 80s, and it was called NAFTA, and only since 2018 and Trump, it became USMCA. After undertaking some research on USMCA, we've sort of grasped that the advantages and the strengths of USMCA are the labor rights that are now recognized by the International Labour Organization, cross-border services, which help in the economy, the high standard policy and transparency commitments, which is also a very good point for society, for transparency towards them. Also, stricter intellectual property rules, and I believe the enforcement of digital trade is also a very good point because it just makes it a lot quicker and easier. At the same time, USMCA has employed and increased the labor law requirement for Mexican workers, so they've employed a minimum wage to $16 an hour. On the weaknesses side, as I said before in the PESTEL analysis, they've had a lot of criticism from environmentalists for its poor waste management and practices and their inability to integrate sustainability in business operations. So that's something they're working towards, but they're not quite there yet. On the opportunities, there's the enforcement of digital trade, which means that they've implemented new procedures such as e-signatures, self-certification of origin, and other streamlined trade for busy small businesses. And at the same time, as in every association, there's an increased job outsourcing, and at the same time, domestic industries might struggle because of being in such a big organization and association. So why should corporations choose APEC? One of the reasons is that it's cross-border, and it does not only comprehend one continent like USMCA, but it includes more, like the Asian continent, the American continent, and it also includes Russia and therefore Europe. And last but not least, APEC promotes job creation, human capital development, and national economic growth among member states.
So what does the process of setting up a business within APEC involve? APEC launched its Ease of Doing Business plan in 2009 with the goal of making it cheaper, easier, and faster to do business within the region. Between 2009 and 2013, member economies improved the ease of doing business in the Asia Pacific by 11.3% across areas including starting a business, getting credit, and applying for permits. For example, APEC has expedited the time it takes for a company to build a new factory or office building. Today, construction permits are issued at a faster pace, dropping 18.7% from 169 days to 134 days. Starting a company in the Asia Pacific is also simpler, with a number of...
I'd like to finish off with some recommendations for anyone wishing to enter the APEC market. As we stated above, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the continuing effects of the COVID-19 pandemic have stunted growth within APEC this year. This kind of trends have been seen worldwide, so we do believe that the member economies of the APEC are taking all possible measures to try and mitigate some of the fallout of the global economic turmoil. It may seem like an unsettling time to set up a business in a new region, but APEC remains committed to each of the policies we have outlined in this presentation. They're ensuring that businesses can still prosper in a sustainable, digitally up-to-date, and successful manner. If you're interested in entering the market in one of the member economies, we strongly suggest you visit such countries to see firsthand the welcoming business environment that you could be part of. And on the other hand, we also recommend carrying out further research and analysis before entering the APEC market. it may also be worth carrying out analysis on the other trading blocks to ensure that APAC is the right fit for you.